I love the juxtaposition of this program because putting the Alexandre Guilmant First Symphony, which is really like an organ concerto, on the first half before the Mozart Requiem is a remarkable combination, I think. It's a very funny thing how some composers are so popular and then they're not. And I'm not sure that Alexandre Guilmant deserves to be relegated to the forgotten category of composers. He was, by all accounts, kind of a rock star. He was a very noted figure in the organ world, and remember, in France, at the end of the 19th century, the organ world was a big deal. So, unlike a lot of his contemporaries, there were two camps. One was that the organ was this massive instrument that sort of replicated what an orchestra could do, and so it was considered, you know, the king of instruments. But Berlioz, the great Hector Berlioz, who knew something about writing for the organ, quipped, the organ was the king of instruments, but the orchestra was the emperor. So there was this feeling that the organ and the orchestra could work together in a different way than just this overblown massive thing. And in fact, a lot of composers were writing organ symphonies. For a long time, Guilmant didn't. He wrote organ sonatas because he wanted to stress the kind of individual solistic nature of the instrument and not just this overblown orchestral, over-the-top, multi-throated, loud machine. So when he wrote this first symphony, it really was a conscious statement to sort of feature the organ as a solo instrument. But Guilmant was also a great player himself. He went out, which was unusual, on these massive concert tours, and he was giving performances for 10,000 people. They sold out, you know, it was like playing a stadium, right? Like a rock star. He came to the United States. Apparently he gave dozens of recitals in St. Louis, I think even at the St. Louis Expo in 1904. But he was very, very well known as a touring virtuoso, and so he popularized the idea of the organ, and his music became commensurately popular too. And then it wasn't, right? I think this piece is really deserving of being heard. It's beautiful. The two outer movements, sort of faster movements, are very exciting, and there's a nod to the Baroque era and the kind of stylized dances of that time, but clearly it's an expressive romantic work. The slow movement is incredibly beautiful, and you need a great virtuoso to bring all this out, and we have that, because incredibly happily our friend Paul Jacobs is coming back to be with us after being away too long, and I mean, he's just such an amazing musician and player, and he elevates everything that he plays. So it's going to be really different experience, and one that is going to be absolutely thrilling.